Stage 1. The slap. This stage is subtle at first and then it's not. You're living your normal life, working, socializing, maybe trying to meditate for 30 seconds a week. Then bam, something shifts. It could be a breakup, a death in the family, burnout, a loss of meaning in your job, or sometimes, nothing specific at all. Just a nagging sense of this isn't it. You start noticing the cracks in the facade. You question things you used to take for granted. Why do I feel like I'm wearing a mask everywhere I go? Why does success feel so hollow? Why does everything feel fake? This is the spiritual alarm clock, and like most alarms, it's annoying and unavoidable. You can try to snooze it with distractions, parties, work, retail therapy, but it keeps going off. This marks the beginning of inner inquiry, the shift from autopilot to awareness. Stage 2. The rabbit hole. Welcome to Wonderland. Population, you. After the slap, curiosity takes over, and suddenly you're 34 tabs deep into YouTube videos about ancient civilizations, sacred geometry, astral projection, and why your microwave might be a government tracking device. You start connecting dots, some real, some very much not, but you can't stop. You might start seeing repeating numbers, 1111 gang, where you at, having vivid dreams or experiencing synchronicities, like thinking about someone and then they text you. You begin to suspect there's more to this reality, that perhaps behind the curtain of society there's a spiritual structure that nobody ever told you about in school. This is where spiritual consumerism can kick in. You buy crystals, try plant medicine, follow 30 spiritual influencers, and while some of it is fluff, it's also part of your awakening toolkit. You're seeking. That's what matters. Stage 3. Ego death. Brace yourself. This stage is not cute, where you start peeling back layers of identity, your job title, your relationship role, your childhood conditioning, and realize they're all costumes. You thought you were the actor, but turns out you've been the script. This causes an ego backlash. The ego, terrified of losing control, starts to panic. You might feel deep anxiety, disorientation, loss of purpose, emotional breakdowns, and a sense of being untethered from reality. Oh, it is terrifying and liberating. You begin to witness your thoughts rather than being ruled by them. You stop chasing validation. The voice in your head saying you're not good enough, you recognize it's not you, it's programming. Some call this a spiritual psychosis, but it's more accurate to call it a purification. You're detoxing your false self. This stage often repeats in cycles throughout your life. Ego death isn't a one-time event. It's a spiral of surrender, insight, and rebirth. Stage 4. The hermit phase. After your identity gets smashed like a cheap mirror, you retreat. The noise of the world, news, gossip, your aunt's passive-aggressive WhatsApp quotes becomes unbearable. You begin to crave silence, nature, stillness. You unplug. Maybe you move away. Maybe you ghost people. Maybe you become a monk in your own bedroom. But this isn't depression, it's incubation. In solitude, you start hearing your true voice again. You journal, you meditate, you sit with your feelings, and sometimes you just stare at a wall, and that's progress too. This is the cocoon phase. From the outside, it looks like nothing's happening. Inside, total transformation. Stage 5. The inner alchemy. Now the magic starts. You're no longer obsessively consuming spiritual content. You're starting to integrate it. You're learning about shadow work. You're realizing your triggers are teachers. You're actually setting boundaries and sticking to them. Rolled wounds rise to the surface. Trauma, shame, rejection, but now you face them with compassion. You realize healing isn't about fixing yourself. It's about embracing your whole self. You might even start enjoying the discomfort because it means you're evolving. You begin to see the divine in everything. Your cat, your breath, a stranger's smile, a leaf falling. You become emotionally aware, spiritually grounded, and more present than ever. Stage 6. Service and soul purpose. With awareness comes responsibility. You feel the call to serve. This doesn't mean becoming a full-time guru or Reiki healer, though it could. It might mean starting a conscious business, teaching what you've learned, simply radiating love and presence in your daily life. You stop trying to convert people or prove you're enlightened. You just live authentically, and your energy does the talking. In this stage, spiritual practice isn't separate from daily life. It is your daily life. You embody what you once intellectualized, and most beautifully, you understand that every soul is on their own timeline. No judgment, just compassion. Stage 7. Non-dual awareness. And now we reach the paradox. After all the seeking, learning, and growing, you realize there's nowhere to go. You've always been it. The divine you were chasing was always inside. There is no awakening, only remembering. This doesn't mean you float around in a robe quoting Rumi. It means you live your life fully present, grounded and human, but awake. You can laugh, cry, work, mess up, and still know you're connected to the infinite. You don't need external validation, you don't fear death, you don't attach to control, you simply are. This stage can't be described, only experienced. But if you've ever sat in silence, felt the breath enter your lungs, and known deeply that all is one, you've touched it.